Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Simone here, and Merry Christmas! You can't see I'm wearing a Christmas jumper. Woo. So this is my last video before Christmas. Christmas is in like, what, 4 days or something. I hope that you all have a wonderful one. I am very excited. We are doing our first Christmas in our new house, which is exciting. And yes, right now it is 5 past midnight, and I've decided to film because why the hell not? So I'm going to be doing the Cozy Christmas book tag, and this was originally created by Call Me After Coffee, which I will link down below her original tag because I think it's a really interesting tag. And yeah, let's get started. So there are 8 questions, and yeah, I'm going to answer each one. So the first one is Twinkling Lights, and that is, what is the most beautiful book? What is the most beautiful book you own? And I could have gone with many different ones for this, but I really like The Essex Serpent by Sarah Perry. Still haven't read this. I'm really interested in it, but the cover of this is just beautiful. I don't know if you can really see it. Yeah, it's just a really lovely cover. I also really like the end pages. So like, if you look, I think they're really pretty as well. So yeah, I think this is a beautiful, beautiful book, and I'm excited about it. Question number 2 is the perfect tree. Will you pay more to get the prettiest edition of a book? And no is the answer. Generally, most of the books on my shelves are secondhand or used books. I have no real interest in, because if you don't know, I don't keep books once I finish them. I feel like I'm a broken record on this channel, but once I've read a book, I will get rid of it because I don't like to keep them. Because I give it back to charity and I want other people to be able to read them, even if it's one I would eventually reread, because I'll just get it again or get it from the charity shop, so, or a library. So yeah, not for me, unfortunately. Question number 3, build a snowman. Make a Christmas book stack, colour or theme. So I'm going to show you my lovely fiance helped me get these out earlier. Ready? Does it look Christmassy? So we have green and red, which I feel like sums up Christmas, right? So I'll just very quickly go through the books. I'm sure you're not that interested, but we'll do it anyway. We have The Moors Are Missing by James Patterson, which is a set of 3 thrillers, I think. The Circle by Dave Eggers, which is a book that I've seen the movie and it was really good, so maybe the book will be good as well. I don't know. Then we have The Zoo by Christopher Wilson. This is a book I got in a chocolate and a book unboxing, which is not a book I would necessarily have picked up, but I've heard good things, so it could be interesting. Then we have 'Twas the Night Shift Before Christmas by Adam Kay, which is a book I was sent by the lovely Victoria. And obviously this was the Christmassy one in the middle because it's Christmas. We then have Truly Madly Guilty by Leanne Moriarty, which is a book I'm really excited about because I've read, I think, 3 other Leanne Moriarty books now, and I've loved all of them so far. Then we have The Girl Who Kicked the Hornet's Nest by Stieg Larsson. It's massive, but it's the 3rd book in the Millennium Trilogy, which I've read both of the first 2 and really, really enjoyed them, so very much looking forward to this one. Then we have The Sin Eater's Daughter by Melinda Salisbury. I've heard people call this Salisbury, and I'm like, I used to live near Salisbury, pretty sure it's pronounced the same. I don't know anything about this one. Sounds interesting. That's ridiculous. I've not heard anything about it. How can it sound interesting? And what is this? Prelude to June. House Harkonnen? Oh, for God's sake. Brian Herbert and Kevin J. Anderson. This is not my book. This is his book. He's over there staring at me as I'm filming. He's just given me this book so that I have no idea how to say it. I've heard of June by Frank Herbert, and I've also heard that it was not great, so there was shock and awe. AJ's pretending he's ever read it.
I think he got to chapter 2.
He got to chapter 2. Apparently it's really, really tedious, but anyway. This is Prelude, so this is before that. Who'd name their kid Kevin? Just gonna say that. Yes, so that is my stack. Question number 4, Crackling Fire. What book makes you feel warm and cozy? So for me, it's anything by Patricia Cornwell, which potentially is a little bit terrifying because she is a writer of murder and death and forensic pathology. This my favourite novels of hers are her Kay Scarpetta series. Dr. Kay Scarpetta is a forensic pathologist in the books, and I really enjoy this series. Like I said, it feels kind of cozy to me, only because I've read this like my whole life, so I feel like this series is just a great one for me. So it might sound weird, but I'm going with it. Question number 5, knee-high socks. What is the longest book you've read? I read Les Miserables by Victor Hugo, which I think was 1,400 pages long. It took me about 6 months to read. It's a really dry book, and I'm glad I finished it, but Jesus, that man can waffle. He talked about sewers for an entire chapter, and I don't really understand that, but yeah, that's a thing. Yeah, it was interesting. I'm glad I read it. It was a good book. It just went on for a very long time. Question number 6, ugly sweaters. What's the ugliest book you own? I did find one. Where is it? Here we go. This one. Can you see that? The Secret Garden by Frances Hodgson Burnett. I really just don't like this edition. I'm not sure I like Collins Classics editions. I feel like a lot of them I've seen. I've just look at the writing in there. Look at that. That's not good, is it? I feel like if I like this book, well, I was going to say I need to get a new copy, but I don't keep books, so it's fine. Yeah, not a fan of that. Do any of you like it? Let me know, but I'm not. Question number 7, blizzards. A book set in winter or a book that gives you the chills / has dark themes. And when I read this out to AJ, he told me this one apparently has dark themes. Apparently I think it's a set of 7 stories by Peter Straub called Magic Terror. Peter Straub, I have a book by Peter Straub and Stephen King together. They wrote the Black House or Talisman duology. I can't remember. I have one of them. So yeah, I feel like this could be interesting. It's a horror short story collection, I guess. So yeah, it's interesting. I've never read any Peter Straub. Straub. Never know how to say his name either. But yeah, this is meant to be really good. This is AJ's book, but now it's mine because what's mine is his, right?
Other way around.
What's his is mine. I don't know. But yeah, I look forward to reading this one, and yeah, it's quite a short book, but it's a really big one. So yeah, it's also quite a pretty book. I'm a fan of that. And the final question is number 8, home for the holidays. For the rereaders out there, are there any books that feel like going home? I try not to say this in tags. I try to not talk about Harry Potter. But this is like the most Harry Potter question of all questions. This one is the last one, Deathly Hallows, which is probably, I say it's one of my favourites. They're all my favourites, so I can't really pick one. This is the final chapter in the final book of the series, and I just absolutely love the whole thing, to be honest. Yeah, this is what feels like going home, and it's probably the only books I actually reread, so I couldn't really go with anything else. There you are, guys. Like I said, Merry Christmas. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful time. You all deserve it. Take some time off, put your feet up, and enjoy yourself. I will see you all next week for another video. I hope that you enjoyed this. I'm not going to tag anybody because it's a bit close to Christmas now. But if you do want to do this and you see it, then absolutely feel free. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I will see you next time for another video. Bye, guys.